watch. What does he say he's going to do with the watch? I love this story.
Peter, we're on Watch.
We're on Watch. We have hashtag Watch. Should he wear it? He says he might. We'll talk about that. And then there were some very interesting plays over the weekend.
What do you mean?
Some very fascinating formations and schemes. It's called Cool Plays, bro.
Cool plays, bro.
Kellen Moore. You might have been called Keelan Moore by your owner, Jerry Jones, but I'm calling you Kellen Moore, your real name. Let's rock. Let's do it.
And I will make the case for why you need to play Big Ben in your fantasy league this week after he disappointed fantasy owners a week ago. Kyle Brandt, how are we feeling?
We're feeling good.
Yeah?
Better than the Steelers. Got to have a bounce back week. Got to have
That's right. It's time for the lead block.
Lead block.
Thursday Night Football is just a day and night away, you guys. Tampa Bay, Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers. All we need to know about the matchup. Let's send it first to James Palmer. He's with Tampa Bay. Tiffany Blackman is with Carolina.
Well, thanks, Kay. Jameis Winston trying to get his first road win since 2016. It's been 12 straight, and he's trying to bounce back from a week one where he threw 3 interceptions, 2 of them returned for pick sixes. But when Bruce Arians went back and looked at the film, he believes 2 of those interceptions don't fall on Winston at all. He believes this group around him has to play better along with his quarterback, but they're all learning and growing. As I talk to more guys on that offense, they tell me this is actually going to take some time to figure out what Bruce Arians wants out of this group and develop it in the manner in which they want to operate it. If you look in the past, Bruce Arians has been patient with his quarterbacks learning his offense. Let's see if he's patient with Jameis Winston. Now to the other side of the ball and trying to stop Christian McCaffrey. Arians believes McCaffrey is the best dual threat running back in the entire NFL, and he remembers his time with David Johnson. Keep an eye on his young middle linebacker in Devin White, who runs a 4.4 240, maybe keeping up with McCaffrey in the middle of the field. Now let's go to Tiffany Blackman with the Panthers.
Thanks, James. Well, on Sunday, quarterback Cam Newton threw the football 38 times. Only one of those attempts was for more than 20 yards. Now, Newton said afterwards that wasn't indicative of his shoulder being hurt. He was just taking what the defense gave him. And during his press conference on Tuesday, he told us that he feels great. He came in upbeat and confident and let us all know that he is tired of answering questions about why he didn't throw the deep ball.
Because you're only asking me because of my shoulder. How about this? You talk to the defensive coordinator for Tampa and don't think I can throw the ball over 20 yards and see how far that gets you. How about that?
Well, Kay, we didn't hear from defensive coordinator Todd Bowles, but we did get head coach Bruce Arians on a conference call, and he said he has no doubt about Cam Newton and his health. He said he's ready to go. He also was asked about whether or not the defense changes what they do because we haven't seen Cam push the ball downfield. Arians said, I don't want to find out in a game if he can throw the football for more than 20 yards.
Great job by Tiffany there. Love that sound from Cam. James Palmer keeping it high and tight as usual. A lot of sharp lines. But these two quarterbacks are 2 of the most intriguing ones in the league. I love that they get to face each other for our first taste of Thursday Night Football. Schrags, you've got Jameis, who's on a prove-it-or-lose-it year. And then you've got Cam, who is being a little chippy with the media, and he's on quite a losing streak. Who needs a win more?
Yeah, and I think Cam's acting like it's a crazy question. It didn't look like the Cam Newton of old on Sunday against the Rams. He didn't go deep. There were no vertical passes. It was all very short routes, and they found a way with Christian McCaffrey. But Jameis got everything he wanted this offseason. Jameis got a new coach, a quarterback whisperer. Jameis got a new offensive coordinator in Byron Leftwich. He got a new quarterbacks coach. He got a new lease on life. Everyone is surrounding Jameis for success. And yet, what happened against that Niners defense at home in the heat? Pick six, incomplete. Look, Jameis has been on primetime 5 times in his career. He's won once. He's been on Thursday Night Football on NFL Network 3 times. He's never won. Feel like here we go again. And I just, it's Kay, you mentioned it, contract year. Whereas everyone else is doing flips to pay their quarterback, the Buccaneers still have to make a decision on Jameis Winston. It's going to be in his hands. And they got in the quarterback guru and the whisperer and the former quarterback Byron Leftwich in his ear. And yet this was as bad as any game he played last season. And it was at home with all the optimism in the world. I got to see Jameis come out and give us something. And there's no security blanket because Ryan Fitzpatrick's not there. And I don't think Blaine Gabbert can do this for the Buccaneers team either.
But Bruce Arians is going to fix him, right? We've been talking about that for 6 months. And I feel like Bruce Arians was the doctor who walked in and looked at his patient and said, cancel all my appointments. This was going to take either that or he said, I'm too old for this bleep. Because he was the apologist after that game, like James talked about. He said, well, one of the picks went off the receiver's hand. Another one ran the... He'll do that 1 week. And I said this yesterday. Week 1 is a liar. Maybe Jameis will be better. But, guys, in the last 12 games, He's thrown 17 interceptions. For sake of comparison, Matt Ryan has thrown 7. Aaron Rodgers has thrown 1. I mean, we got to compete in the NFC here. It's so many interceptions all the time. Close your eyes, and think in your mind of Jameis Winston on the field. I picture him throwing a pick, like a bad one, and it happens a lot. And there's a thing with Jameis where we get so seduced by the talents and we get disappointed as the results. And I think off the field, we get so seduced by the charisma and we get disappointed by the results. That is the through line for him, and I'm tired of it. If he has an egg on Thursday night, it's time to start talking turkey here. Like, we got to do something. I mean it. This feels like a playoff game for Jameis.
Yeah, the most pressure, it would have to be Jameis Winston. I mean, as much as we can say pressure's on Cam Newton, and he didn't look like the Cam Newton of old, he kind of looked like an older Cam Newton. He still is a franchise guy. He still has the support of the team, the organization, his teammates. The city is behind him. When it comes to Jameis, though, it's not like that anymore. Everybody's kind of waiting. They're sitting back, holding on to their reservation, saying, let's just see if he can earn our trust. Let's see if he can earn our money. Let's see if he can earn our appreciation. And right now, he's not showing that. I was watching that game, and I'm sitting there saying, all right, Jameis, this is it. You got a chance. You're in the red zone. We're going to make something happen. Go ahead and show him what you're made of. And then he went out there and he did what he's been doing as of recently, which is making mistakes. I'm still looking forward to Jameis turning it around, but the time is ticking. The clock is starting to wind down to the witching hour. If he continues to play like this, Jameis will find himself in a position where next year he's fighting for a starting spot and possibly fighting for a backup spot.
But he's never been to the mountaintop, Nate. Cam has been one of the greatest, most talented, electric quarterbacks, dynamic, athletic guys we have ever seen. This is an MVP. This is a guy who changed the game when he played at his best, who got to a Super Bowl, all of that. So to me, what is he now? Like, was that 2015 Triggs an anomaly? Doesn't he have so much more to prove? And this losing streak is gross. They've lost 8 of the last 9 going back to last year. The only game the Panthers won was when Cam Newton did not play, and it was a meaningless game when nobody played against the Saints. What is this team if he can't get it going?
I think there's a genuine fear that goose is cooked, right? Like, what version are we getting? And I think he can change the narrative by having a big game and winning this one on Thursday and winning the next week after that. But against the Rams, it didn't look great. They hung in this game, but it was the McCaffrey show.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of weapons. They've got a lot of young guys. They've got a better offensive line, and the front 7 on defense is good. Cam Newton has been to the mountaintop. I don't think we consider him a mountaintop guy right now in the current state of the NFL.
He was the best player in the NFL at any position a few years ago. Yeah. This is the second act. Right now, he is not the best offensive player on his team. So we compare him to LeBron a lot. LeBron can flip the switch and completely take over a game. Does Cam still have that in him? I wonder now if he's like, Cam's a great athlete, but he's in the older years of his career where he dumps it off. So far, that's what I'm seeing.
I cannot wait for kickoff. 8:20 Eastern on NFL Network. Colleen Wolfe and Company, Thursday Night Football. Will Selva's in the newsroom in Culver City this morning with all the headlines coast to coast. Hi, Will.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kay. And guys, and the Antonio Brown saga has taken another turn. Brown facing some serious off-the-field allegations as he's been accused of sexual assault in a civil lawsuit by a former trainer. The allegations date back to 2017 and 2018, where Brittany Taylor says Brown sexually assaulted her on 3 occasions. This according to a lawsuit filed Tuesday in the Southern District of Florida. Taylor says she will cooperate with the NFL and any other agencies, while Brown has denied the allegations and plans to countersue. His attorney says the relationship was consensual. The Patriots releasing a statement late Tuesday night saying, quote, "We are aware of the civil lawsuit that was filed earlier today against Antonio Brown, as well as the response by Antonio's representatives. We take these allegations very seriously. Under no circumstance does this organization condone sexual violence or assault. The league has informed us that they will be investigating. We will have no further comment while that investigation takes place." Now to other news, and earlier on Tuesday, the Patriots also pulling off a trade. NFL Network's Mike Garafolo reporting the Patriots sent wide receiver Demaryius Thomas to the Jets for a 2021 6th-round pick. Bill Belichick has now made a deal with every NFL team since becoming head coach of the Patriots 19 years ago. Speaking of the Jets, Corey Vedvik's time in New York was a brief one. A missed field goal and a botched extra point in the loss to the Bills, hastening his exit from Gotham. The Jets claiming him off waivers on September 1st after his tenure with the Vikings ended poorly. Now, as a result of this move, the Jets inking veteran Sam Ficken, who was battling Mason Crosby for the job in Green Bay. They might want to keep Carly Lloyd's number handy. Just saying. We are just getting started here on Good Morning Football. When we return, what does Odell Beckham Jr. plan to do this weekend that he probably shouldn't?